What do I mean we're going to do this a little different? Well, I don't want this to be a video solely for the competition or talking about my own issues. More so, I want this to leave a lasting impact upon the audience. Everybody has their own issues going on, and I would say my biggest is discipline. And of course, Iman has helped me with that, but instead, I'd rather put as much effort as possible into providing inspiration for whoever may be watching. I am already on my journey through self-improvement. So, through my own experiences and Amon's advice, I'd rather dedicate to the ones who may not be on their own path yet. Amon, thank you for holding such a unique opportunity and approach to helping others. Have you guys ever been up way past midnight scrolling on TikTok, or maybe not even sleeping at all? Well, this was me just a week ago. As a matter of fact, this is me for almost the past 2 years of my life. I'm sure some of you watching have been the same way before, or maybe are even the same way right now. And you know what? I'm so grateful that you are perhaps in that situation, and also I found this video. Bear with me for a second. If you are depressed, staying up late, feeling like a failure, broke, or even questioning your entire purpose, quantifiably, you only have one way to go, and that's up. This is why I said I was grateful for you being there. This is your chance, your full potential for an insane breakthrough, whether it be financially, socially, or physically. If you don't have the financial freedom you want, go obtain it. If you want this girl who you've liked for a long time, go get her. If you want a six-pack and abs, go train your ass off. Obviously, this is all easier said than done, but it can be done. And in this video, I'm going to prove this through my own experiences, along with the help that I've received from people such as Iman. Ever since a young age, I always felt like I had an innate mindset to question everything around me. Whether I was in class at school, participating in sports, or just around my friends, I was always curious about what was really going on. If you are still listening to this video, you are already on a great start, since this means you hold this innate ability as well. Having that mindset prepared me for more recent times. One great example is where we've seen people's opinions being invalidated, and those people being canceled for having said opinions. What the vast majority of people nowadays do not realize is that it is essential to question almost everything that is happening around you. Look, if I were to tell you that a group of random people, let's say 100 people, would help you with whatever you may need and they don't get anything in return, well, this doesn't seem too probable now, does it? And this is exactly what I, along with other like-minded people such as Iman, are trying to get across about the masses of current society. Not many people are going to be there to help you, especially people who are already in positions of power. I think one of the best series that has been released on the internet to date is the Digital Renaissance, which was created by Iman himself. In this 3-part series, he distinguishes exactly what type of social era we are in, and exactly what collectively, as New Age Renaissance men, we need to do to challenge the current toxicity welded within society. This is how Iman broke the internet. Now, I won't go into depth about that here, since it is something you should definitely check out on your own. Links below. Rather, I would like to add on what truly being a Renaissance man was and is. Defined, a Renaissance man is someone who holds many talents or areas of knowledge. And to become a Renaissance man is actually extremely easier than one may think, especially in modern ages. Any kind of information you want, it's all available at your fingertips online. It just comes down to the fact of whether or not you are bold enough to ask these questions in the first place and willing to put in the time to understand said answers. The importance of being a Renaissance man is great, and it will only heighten your hand that you have been dealt. If you are a man who is intellectually smart and financially stable, you can do anything you would like in this world. Now, you may have just thought, well, wait a second, I'm not financially stable. And that's okay, you don't have to be yet. Once you start putting in the work on self-improvement, the money will come. You will begin to understand way more than you ever thought was imaginable, and you will come across new ideas that would not have been created without certain experiences. As you go across this journey of self-improvement, there's one major thing to highlight, and it goes back to the definition of being a Renaissance man. Although you need to spread out your areas of expertise, you need to keep in mind that you need to be an expert to obtain such expertise. You cannot just try a sport and be alright and be okay with being an average player. You cannot just try a dropshipping business, per se, and give up because you don't have the results yet. You need to keep trying and trying until you find something that works, or until you find something that you truly love. And when you find that something, you need to get it down to an exact science. For me, I used to try to take on so many things at once without any actual purpose. And that's exactly how I got where I was at the beginning of the video. I was playing on 5 sports teams, 3 baseball and 2 soccer, working out, taking the hardest possible classes at school, trying to develop business ideas, cold calling for marketing, streaming video games, making music, and even trying to make edits for TikTok. With all of that, and then trying to balance the social life on top of it, it's not healthy, and ultimately not even possible. And if or when you fall into the same traps that I did, you will eventually get burned out, which I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about not doing enough, which I've held against myself for a long time, but it's actually quite the opposite. Unless you're lying in your bed 24/7, the chances are that you are doing enough, but just not honing in on your talents. Think about your life right now as a skill tree from a video game. Traditionally, in a fighting game, you have your strength, agility, and stamina. If you have the idea that you want your character to be a tank-like fighter, and you equally level your strength, agility, and stamina, well, you're not going to achieve your original goal of becoming a tank. And you've most likely wasted a bunch of time grinding for something useless towards that goal. Instead, you would have had to put more into strength, while sacrificing some agility and stamina. Now, let's put this example into the real world. Let's say the 3 basic components are money, time, and knowledge, instead of strength, agility, and stamina. If your goal is to become financially free, you are going to have to sacrifice on your amount of free time and really hone in on the type of knowledge you are consuming. Whereas if your goal is to have all the free time in the world, well, you probably won't be gaining a ton of money or knowledge. The point is, you cannot just balance out each branch of the tree. There's always an equation that will give you the output you are looking for. Now that you have established an archetype or equation, you need to personalize it and stick to it only once you have realized that the output is exactly what you want to become. Once you are under these realizations, do not quit, and I cannot stress it enough, do not quit. You will get not backed, and you will fail. But in the end, it will only strengthen you, not only towards your goal, but also as a person in general. I get it. The thought of quitting is extremely, extremely easy, but it is not worth it. Even though not completing your homework is really easy today, it will only make it harder for you to pass a class at the end of the semester. And this is true for all sorts of life. If you half-ass try to start your own marketing agency, well, you're not going to get results. If you hesitate on asking out the girl you like, one of you will eventually grow out of your feelings for each other. If I could give one piece of advice that I have learned through my experiences and from the likes of Iman, it is that discipline is greater than motivation. And this specific giveaway that Iman is holding is such a great example. A ton of us, including myself, are really motivated right now by the cash prize Iman is promising. But what will really separate the ones who participate, whether they win the prize or not, is whether they hold the discipline to keep going after. And a part of me believes that this is what Iman is trying to get out of us to begin with. He wants us to become Renaissance men. He wants us to fulfill ourselves. He wants us to take his motivation and in return, turn it into discipline. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. If you have made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for listening to my message. And although I do not know you yet, I wish for you to become the best version of yourself. And Iman, if you are watching personally, or whoever is watching on your behalf, I want to personally thank you for all the amazing content that you put out, and especially for holding opportunities such as this one. Now, as this is the end of the video, I would like to be especially straightforward, since I believe it is one of the best skills that can be learned. If I were to win this $5,000, I would put it towards an idea that I have that could ultimately end car accidents. This is an idea that I've been holding for about 3 years, and although I will not share its components publicly for my own sake, I would love the opportunity to get to speak with you about this. I am not asking for you to make me money, Rather, I am offering to help make you money. As bold as that sounds, I'm extremely confident in my work, and I know that with the right resources and connections, together we can make this become a reality. Again, as a final parting, I would like to thank everyone watching, and especially Iman, for enabling such a beautiful opportunity. You get what you give.